There's a moment every woman knows, that split second when she feels an unmistakable pull toward someone, and suddenly every question she asks carries a little more electricity than the words suggest. Maybe you've felt it without realizing it. You're sitting across from her or standing beside her, and she asks something small, almost innocent, yet her tone lingers a little too long. And part of you wonders, why did that land differently? As a woman, I can tell you this. When we're drawn to someone, our curiosity becomes textured. We don't suddenly turn seductive. We turn specific. We test how tuned in you are, not because we're playing games, but because intimacy for us begins in the mind before it ever reaches the body. And if you've ever sensed that strange warmth in the air and thought, is she hinting at something? Or am I imagining it? This video is going to flip that confusion into clarity, because the questions I'm about to show you aren't random. They're intentional, revealing, and quietly charged. By the end, you'll see the pattern behind them, and maybe even recognize moments you never realized were invitations. 1. Do you ever get that feeling when you're around someone and the air changes a little? Picture this. You're both standing in a kitchen at a friend's gathering. Music's soft, the lights are warm, and conversation has been flowing easier than it should between two people who technically just met. She leans her hip against the counter, looks at you, and drops this question with a half smile, like she's testing if the moment is real or just in her head. This isn't about the air, it's about whether you feel the shift she's feeling. Women phrase desire as shared perception. If you say something dismissive, nah, not really, the moment quietly folds back into something polite. But if you acknowledge even a hint of the tension, everything deepens. And here's the internal monologue running beneath her calm expression. Did you feel that too? Or am I alone in this? She wants alignment without risking embarrassment. A simple phrase like, yeah, sometimes the energy changes before anything is said, lets her know you're aware. Not naive, not overeager, just tuned in. And that awareness sets the stage for what comes next. 2. What do you think people notice first when they're really drawn to someone? Imagine you're walking with her after leaving a cafe. That soft, transitional moment where the world feels quieter and the conversation has room to breathe. She asks this like she's talking about people, but the real subject is both of you. This isn't curiosity. It's projection dressed as curiosity. She's trying to understand not just attraction, but your attraction. What she's really wondering is, what part of you pays attention first? Your eyes, your intuition, your imagination, or something deeper? Women don't escalate intimacy by asking, do you find me attractive? That's too direct and too risky. Instead, we widen the frame to see how you interpret desire itself. As she waits for your response, her mind flickers through possibilities. If he says eyes, does that mean he's already noticed mine? If he says presence, does he feel something with me? If he says voice, is he paying attention to how I sound when I talk to him? Your answer shapes how safe she feels leaning into the chemistry. One of the most powerful replies you can give, and it works because it sounds reflective rather than forward, is, honestly, I notice when someone's presence hits differently, like they change the space around them. That line lands because it subtly gestures toward point 1, the idea of the air changing. And when you unknowingly echo her earlier question, she thinks, he feels it too. If you miss this moment with a detached or analytical answer, the emotional door she just cracked open will quietly close. But if you meet her where she is, she'll push the door wider in the next question. 3. Are you always this calm around people? Or is that just with me? This question usually arrives in a setting where your physical presence is impossible for her to ignore. Maybe walking side by side at night, maybe sitting on a couch after a movie, maybe in a car where the silence feels warmer than the conversation. She's studying your energy. Women read emotional tone like weather. She wants to know whether the version of you she's experiencing is standard or stimulated by her. And under the soft tone, she's thinking, if he's calm with me, maybe he's grounded enough for this connection to grow. But if he's only calm because he doesn't feel what I feel, then I'm misreading everything. Your response determines whether she continues escalating or pulls back. Here's the twist. Most men answer with logic. Yeah, I'm pretty chill with everyone. Harmless, but it kills the charge. Instead, offer the emotional truth without overstating it. I'm calm, sure, but something about you makes it easier. Now she has confirmation. Your emotional state is responsive to her, not neutral. But pay attention here, because this moment also carries stakes. If you shrug off her question, she interprets it as emotional unavailability. An attraction without emotional reciprocity quickly turns into hesitation. She won't drop this topic again. This was her gentle attempt to feel the space between you. What you do with that space determines what doors open next. 4. If you had to guess what I'm thinking right now, what would you say? This question usually shows up in a playful context. Maybe sitting across from her at a bar, soft music, her fingers tracing the rim of her glass, She's not asking for accuracy. She's testing whether you can sense the vibe. In her mind, if he guesses something emotionally safe, I'll lead him. If he guesses something bold but respectful, I'll match him. The best move? Pause for a beat. Then say, I think you're noticing this moment, the same way I am. If she smiles without looking away, the moment just shifted into new territory, and she wanted to see if you'd name it. 5. When was the last time you felt genuinely tempted by someone? This isn't nostalgia, it's calibration. She wants to know how recently desire has been alive in you, because recent desire means emotional availability. Visualize this at a quiet lounge, dim lighting, her knee brushing yours under the table. Accidentally, but not really. She asks the question lightly, but inside she's thinking, does he still let himself want? Or does he shut those feelings down? Your safest, most grounded answer? It happens when the connection feels real, not just physical. That tells her the door is open. But you're selective, not impulsive. And selective desire is deeply attractive. 6. Do you like when someone makes the first move, or do you prefer to set the pace? This moment often unfolds during a transition. Walking out of a restaurant toward the car, the cold air giving both of you a sharper awareness of how close you're standing. She asks this as if she's gathering data about people in general, but there's a reason she's suddenly curious about pacing. She's evaluating whether you'd be comfortable with her leaning in, literally or emotionally. Here's what's happening under the surface. If he prefers to lead, I'll open space for him. If he likes when someone else moves first, I can do that too. I just need to know how not to overwhelm him. This is one of the rare questions where your answer changes the trajectory of the night. If you're open to escalation, say something like, I like when the energy decides for us, when it's mutual. That signals comfort with shared initiation, and women who want intimacy prefer mutuality over dominance. If you answer too rigidly, I always lead, she may stop offering subtle cues. If you sound too passive, she might feel she'd have to carry the entire emotional weight. The sweet spot is balance. Invitation, not pressure. 7. If we were somewhere with fewer people, what do you think we'd be talking about? This question often slips out at a crowded event. Music loud, people brushing past, both of you leaning in to hear each other. She's not actually asking about conversation. She's asking about what the two of you become when distractions fall away. Internally, she's thinking, would our connection feel different in a quieter room? Or is this just surface-level chemistry? A grounded answer. Probably the things we're not saying right now. If she laughs softly or bites her lip, she's imagining exactly what you think she is. And she just tested whether you'd step into that unspoken space with her. 8. What's something subtle a woman could do that would instantly get your attention? Women love this question because it lets them learn your intimate language without ever revealing their motive. She asks it casually, maybe mid-walk, late evening, streetlights casting soft shadows, but inside she's mapping her next move. She's thinking, tell me what signals you actually notice, so I know if you've noticed mine. Most men answer with something generic like smile or confidence, but she's not looking for cliches. She wants emotional specificity, something she can measure herself against. Try responding with, when someone looks at me like they're paying attention to more than my words, that gets me. That opens a door because she knows she's been giving you exactly that look. This moment includes quiet stakes. If you answer superficially, she may conclude you're emotionally unaware. And intimacy cannot unfold with someone who can't feel nuance. But if your answer reflects depth, she relaxes, finally seeing that her signals aren't wasted on you. 9. Have you ever been caught wanting to kiss someone at the wrong moment? This question doesn't come early. It arrives when the two of you are already inside a warm bubble, maybe sitting on a couch after hours of conversation, legs angled toward each other, her voice softer now than it was an hour ago. The beauty of this question is the way it blends confession with deniability. She's not saying she wants to kiss you. She's saying she understands the tension of wanting something you can't quite act on yet. In her mind, a quiet storm is happening. I want to kiss him. Does he feel it too? If he's felt this before, maybe he'll understand what I'm feeling now. This is one of the most emotionally charged signals because it gives you a chance to meet her vulnerability without pushing past it. If you respond with something closed off, not really, the moment dissolves. If you respond too boldly, I want to kiss you right now, you may overwhelm her. The sweet spot is a layered truth. Yeah, it usually happens when the moment feels too good to interrupt. That tells her the desire doesn't frighten you, and that you understand the art of timing. Notice how this ties back subtly to point 4, reading unspoken thoughts. When she hears your answer, she immediately reinterprets your body language through a new lens. Your pauses, your glances, the way you breathe between sentences. If you get this moment right, the emotional pace between you accelerates, which sets up point 10 perfectly. 10. Is there something you're not saying? or am I imagining this? This is the point of emotional convergence. It rarely appears in public. It happens in private, low-light settings. Her living room, your parked car, the quiet end of a long walk. It's the question a woman asks when she's no longer willing to guess what you feel. Her voice may sound calm, but inside, she's wrestling with two possibilities. Either he's holding back because he feels something, or I've misread the entire night. This question carries stakes. She's risking rejection in a quiet, vulnerable way. She's handing you the emotional truth of the moment without naming the desire explicitly. Your job isn't to deliver a grand confession. It's to acknowledge the reality she's courageously pointing toward. A grounded response might sound like, "You're not imagining it. Some things feel better when they're said slowly." This gives her confirmation without forcing pace. It shows you're intentional, not evasive, not oblivious. And here's the internal dialogue she won't say aloud. Thank God. He sees it too. I'm not alone in this. This moment often reshapes everything that follows. She stops testing and starts trusting. She stops hinting and starts leaning in emotionally. And soon, physically. 11. When you're really attracted to someone, do you get quiet or bold? This question usually arrives during a softer moment, maybe on a nighttime walk where the street feels empty, or in the pause after laughing at something that shouldn't have been as funny as it was. She asks it like she's curious about your psychology, but really, she's trying to match your current behavior to your underlying desire. If you've been calm, she wants to know whether that calmness means interest or detachment. If you've been confident, she wants to know whether that boldness is effortless or triggered by her. Inside, she's thinking, is he this comfortable because he's not attracted, or because he is? And here's where your answer matters more than you think. If you say you get quiet around someone you want, she'll start noticing every time your voice softens. If you say you get bold, she'll watch how you step closer. A grounded, balanced answer sounds like, usually a mix. I get quieter when I'm paying attention, and bold when the moment feels right. That gives her permission to lean into both sides of you, the softness and the spark, without feeling like she's misreading your cues. 12. What part of a connection hits you first? Mind, voice, or closeness? This question typically emerges in a quieter daytime moment, maybe sitting in your car after running errands together, or standing beside each other in a grocery store aisle, laughing about something ordinary. She asks because she wants to know how intimacy forms for you, mentally, emotionally, or physically. And beneath that curiosity sits a more private thought. Which part of me is he responding to the most? A simple, layered answer, it's usually how someone makes me feel when they're near. If she steps even slightly closer after that, she's showing you exactly which part of the connection she hopes is hitting you now. 13. If I asked you something personal right now, would you answer honestly? You'll usually hear this in a car, parked, engine off, but neither of you ready to say goodbye. She's checking whether the moment can handle more heat, emotional or physical. Her internal monologue whispers, if he says yes, I can push this further. If he hesitates, I need to slow down. A strong response is calm, steady, and open. Ask me. I'll tell you the truth. This doesn't rush the moment. It expands it. And once she feels that openness, her next question often dives deeper into desire, boundaries, or attraction. 14. Do you ever imagine what someone's thinking when they stand close to you? This question tends to land in crowded environments, maybe waiting in line at a bar, or squeezed shoulder to shoulder in a hallway where the music is too loud for normal conversation. She's asking because proximity is starting to feel charged, and she wants to know if you feel the same pull. If you respond with something detached, she'll retreat. But if you tie it back to her presence, subtly but honestly, the moment thickens. Try sometimes, especially when the closeness feels intentional, and notice if she doesn't step away. That alone answers her question. 15. What kind of moment makes you lose track of what you were about to say? This one tends to unfold in a much softer space. Maybe you're both on her couch, a movie playing but barely watched, or you're lingering in a doorway after walking her home. There's a warmth in the air, but neither of you has named it yet. She asks because she's noticed tiny shifts in you. The pause before answering, the way your eyes linger a second too long. And part of her is wondering, is he losing his words for the same reason I am? If you answer with something purely logical, I forget things all the time, you flatten the moment. But if you answer with emotional awareness, the tension grows in the right direction. A gentle reply, when something feels meaningful, or when someone catches me off guard in a good way. She'll replay that line as she walks to the kitchen, or as she sits back down beside you. And if you pay attention, her next move will be just a little braver, because now she knows you feel those shifts too. This point also reconnects to the earlier moment in point 10, that unspoken truth humming between you both. 16. Have you ever been surprised by how much you wanted someone, even early on? This question doesn't show up in casual conversation. It comes when she's already feeling drawn to you faster than she expected. Maybe after a second date where the drive home was too quiet, or during a moment when your hand brushed hers and she felt it in places she didn't expect. Inside, she's thinking, tell me it's okay that this feels intense so quickly. Tell me I'm not the only one. She's not asking about your past. She's asking about your capacity, your ability to let desire rise without suppressing it. If you reply with judgment, that's too fast for me, she'll slow herself down instantly. If you make it sound reckless, I fall fast all the time, she'll worry you're indiscriminate. But if you offer nuance, she relaxes. Sometimes chemistry just hits harder than you expect when it feels real. That line validates her experience without making promises. Exactly what she needs to feel safe moving forward. 17. If someone leaned in a little, how would you know they meant it? This question typically surfaces at the height of unspoken tension, maybe standing together at her front door, or on a balcony overlooking a quiet city, or in that lingering moment beside your car when neither of you moves first. She's building a bridge toward physical intimacy without risking rejection. In her mind, if he describes a moment that looks like what we're in right now, he's giving me permission. Your answer cannot be flippant. It has to mirror the truth of the moment without rushing it. A grounded response. I'd feel it in the way they look at me, like the moment's already leaning forward, even before they do. She hears that and immediately checks your eyes, because that's exactly where she's been speaking from all night. This question is also a turning point. If you misread it, the moment stalls. But if you meet her openness with your own, the path toward intimacy becomes unmistakably mutual. 18. What's the difference between flirting for fun and flirting because you can't help it? This question often arrives when the two of you are finally alone in a warm, private setting. Lights low, voices softer, the air thick with everything you haven't said yet. She's been flirting with you, and she knows you've felt it. But now she wants to understand the quality of what's happening. In her mind, there are two kinds of flirting: polished charm that means nothing, and the involuntary kind that slips out when you're around someone who pulls you in. She hopes you're experiencing the second. This question is her way of asking, is this real for you, or are you just good at this? A powerful reply carries honesty, not performance. When it's real, you don't think about the flirting. You just think about the person. As soon as you say that, she'll go quiet. Not because she's uncertain, but because she's processing the relief. She's been trying to decode whether your attention is intentional or magnetic. This is also where stakes rise gently. If you say flirting doesn't mean much to you, she may close off to protect herself. But if you show that genuine desire feels different for you, heavier, more instinctive, she'll trust the pull she's feeling. And trust is what allows intimacy to move from possibility to inevitability. 19. If we pause this moment right here, what would it look like to you? This is the most vulnerable question she's asked so far. It only appears when the emotional tension has reached a quiet, steady peak, the kind where neither of you moves because moving would break the spell. Maybe it's late. Maybe you're both sitting close, knees nearly touching, voices low enough that the words feel like they're meant only for the air between you. She asks this not to trap you, but to see whether your emotional reality matches hers. Inside, she's thinking, please let him say he feels what I feel. Please let this be shared. This is also a callback to the very first question, the air changing. Now she wants you to describe what that air has become. Your response must be honest but gentle, vulnerable but not overwhelming. One that resonates deeply. It looks like two people trying not to rush something that already feels close. She'll breathe differently after hearing that. Slower, deeper. Because you've named the tension without breaking it. You've validated the intimacy without pushing for more. And in that moment, the connection transforms. She no longer wonders if you feel it. She knows. And knowing is the final doorway before the moment becomes physical. 20. Would you want to know what I'm thinking right now? Or would that ruin the fun? This is the culmination. The final test wrapped in a dare. She asks it when everything is already humming. The stillness, the closeness, the half-formed smile she's trying to hide. She's giving you the choice. Lean into the intimacy, or stay safely outside it. Inside, she's thinking, if he says he wants to know, I'll tell him. If he says it might ruin it, maybe he already understands. There's no wrong answer, but there is a deeper one. Try, I'd want to know only if you wanted to tell me, but I can. Already feel what the moment's saying. That line wraps the entire journey together. Every earlier question about tension, desire, closeness, timing. And if you've been paying attention, this is where the emotional and physical alignment finally meet, where uncertainty becomes clarity, where the connection shifts from unspoken to undeniable. Before tonight ends, there's one thing you can do that changes everything. The next time a woman asks you a question that feels heavier than the words themselves, pause before you answer. Let yourself feel what the moment is actually giving you. Then respond with something that shows you understood not just the question, but the intention beneath it. Because you're not someone who misses these signals anymore. You recognize the shift in the air now, the same one she was hoping you'd notice from the very beginning. Up next, discover how to seduce women without saying a word, or learn how to spot the strongest signs of sexual tension. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more.